We should be going. We should be live.
I mean, couldn't you just set it up here?
No, actually, it's not.
Yeah, I think that might work. No, no, it's not good enough.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hold it. I'm gonna do this though. I'm gonna check in. I'm gonna see if we're live.
Hey, it is
Live.
Do I see my face? Yeah.
There we are.
Oh, I hate seeing myself in camera.
All right. We have one viewer, and that's us.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk to ourselves.
All right, Sam.
What's that? All right. There we go.
Is it audible?
Can you be there? Can you hold it like that the whole time? Damn. You're tough.
Or just put it behind the couch.
Nah, you won't be able to.
Actually, I guess you could look at it.
Oh yeah, I'll look at it. Hang on, just so you know if you're watching. Oh yeah, there's a couple people watching. We're trying to get this set up here.
Wait, where are we at?
Nah, you gotta go up.
Wait, can I see it?
Hang on, we're just trying to get this set up. Problem is, Koreans aren't really about being on a live stream, so they,
It's delayed, so that's the.
Yeah, it's delayed. That's actually good.
It looks good, yeah.
Can you push it? Can you push that thing behind there?
What about on there then?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hang on. Oh, that's gonna be bad.
Sorry.
Now you gotta turn the camera around now. And no, leave it there. Push that button on the bottom. See the spinny? No, to the right.
To the right.
Right, that one. Yeah. All right, there we go. Hang on 1 second if you're watching. We're just trying to get this set up.
You should check it's audible.
There we go. You can just tap the screen anywhere too. That should go up. It's good. That's all right. Don't worry about it. I don't think it's going to work, my friend. Hang on. Listen, we're here with G-Dog. Right here. And I think you might have to just hold it, Laurie. All right.
You know how long it took you?
Oh, yeah.
We've been waiting for an hour.
Oh, you guys are fighting in front of cameras.
If you're watching, we had to start the stream in order to. Yeah, it's all right. She's got it. Laurie's got it under control. We're working on it. Yeah. The problem is we had to really start the stream in order to make it happen. Yeah, we got 43 people watching, my friend.
There you go. I can do that.
Probably most of them are Korean too.
Yeah? I don't know. Hey, listen, man. We're here with G-Dog. Do you remember this guy? Wait, you gotta look at the camera.
Oh, yeah. So?
G was our main assistant in Super 19 for 2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. And now we're in Seoul having coffee. We just had lunch and then we had coffee. We first went though to an area of Seoul around Seoul Station, which just as an investigation into poverty and homelessness here in Seoul.
Yeah. I mean, we went to public service and organizations that helps out the homeless folks too. It was a bit of a pity though, because their director was on a vacation today, so we didn't really get much out of it.
But we went to this park. It was a park where a lot of social services are handed out, and then we met two Catholic nuns from the Sisters of Notre Dame, and that was cool talking to them about their work. So. Medical work, yeah. So it's really, there are these, if you watch the film Parasite, the poor family in the film Parasite, they live in this basement apartment that are really pretty well known here, right? In Korea, among Koreans. Really inexpensive.
It's one of the essential ways for people in below poverty line to kind of sustain themselves with a roof over their head.
And to be able to live in Seoul.
Yeah, and that too. But I feel like that's just a common theme in most metropolitan cities, right? Because I know a lot of New Yorkers who live like under, like if when you walk by New York, there's always like those like apartments where you basement doors downwards basement. Yeah. Essentially, it's the same thing in my eyes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's the
right.
same phenomena. It's always the basement.
Yeah,
It's always those are always tend to be the cheapest. It's always the where all the I would say people who are struggling kind of sustain themselves as with.
Yeah, really fascinating. And it's just so different, because Seoul is by and large such there's so many parts of the city that are really just wealthy, just, the glitz and the glamour.
Well, what's the whole identity of Korea?
Of Korea,
At this time.
yeah. The glitz and the glamour, and not the underbelly that exists in every city.
Yeah, even when we were talking with the nuns, we asked what is one of the main ways to improve their service towards people in poverty, and one of the main things that they were emphasizing was that Seoul is so expensive that they couldn't find a proper building to hold medical facility as well as service facilities in the same building, so that they would have to constantly go in and out of medical sites and service sites to make it work, which is logistically very convoluted, and it's inefficient. Right, but that's just the reality of how expensive the area is and how poverty kind of shows. It's a stark contrast of rich area, but due to it being rich, the prices are so extraordinarily high that the people who are even just trying to help the poor are also struggling.
And even while we're standing right in that spot, you can see those brand new buildings, modern, expensive buildings right there. Right, we're right on the edge of that same neighborhood.
Yeah, we can just see it. We can see it right outside of where we're at here. One of the things that I was talking about this, I gave a talk last night, and I was talking about homelessness in Seoul, and there's about 2,600 more or less homeless people in the city of Seoul. So, it's the city itself is like about 10 million people. The Seoul metropolitan area is more than double that. But I
also do think it's important to mention that, according to you, the supposed actual people without roof over their head who are actually homeless might be around
1,500.
1,500.
Maybe not
not 1,500, 15,000.
No, 1,500.
1,500, yeah.
It's less.
Yeah.
So the idea, though, is that one thing I said in this talk is that if Seoul had the level of homelessness that LA has, the city of Los Angeles, like if Seoul was organized, dealt with their homeless population in the way that we do in the United States, and Seoul was the size of Los Angeles and policy, there would be 110,000 homeless people in Seoul. And instead there's 2,600 or maybe 2,200. And which is really amazing, man. Like everywhere you went in the city, you would see people who are homeless. And so, but here, it feels like Koreans will say we have a big homeless problem here. And I'm like, man, have you been to LA? Have you been to Washington D.C.?
Oh, yeah.
Have you been to Miami?
Even in like Houston, which I used to go to a lot. You just see a lot of homeless folks like in middle of suburbs, like town areas, region, just standing on the streets, or you just go up. People who are from Houston knows exactly what I'm talking about. As you're walking from downtown to midtown, that whole district is genuinely scary. It is.
What's scary?
Because there's just like a whole row of just homeless people with like artificial like roof.
Like plastic.
And it's fascinating. It's like, and a single block down from that is a nightclub. It's a nightlife.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating. Like people from Houston knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. Portland, Seattle, it's just one after another. And so here, but it's different, right? And so one of the things that
it's different, but I also think it's the same because you just mentioned Seattle, but I feel like the biggest homeless population in Seattle is around Cap Hill and Chinatown, where we consider the hoods. But it's also one of the cheaper regions in downtown Seattle. And it's also, it just by the Cap Hill is where a homeless shelter just happens to be. A lot of homeless folks that I see, you see my neighborhood is also where all the expats are, like Chinatown. But also
your neighborhood here in Seoul.
But also happens to be a lot of homeless folks. We notice as we keep going up in these alleyways, these houses do not look rich. And you can tell these are the places where all the poor people live at, but also potentially where all the expats live at, because it's where it's most affordable.
Where you're at.
So there's definitely like consistencies that occur in all of these like metropolitan cities, which I think shouldn't be just like told as like, oh, Korea is so different from America. No, it's like it's the same phenomenon, but
what's different is the phenomenon is the same, but the numbers are just extraordinarily different. Like it's kind of like it's like gun violence, right? If Korea was the size of the U.S. and population-wise and had gun policies like the U.S., right? Korea has 60. If Korea were the size of the U.S., just with its current gun policies and gun ownership and gun violence, etc., there would be 65 gun killings every year in Korea. Okay, the nation of Korea with its 51, almost 52 million people. But so 65 a year, right? With Korea policies of guns and how they deal with things, but in the United States we have 65 gun murders every day, and it's just like there's a way in which we just tolerate certain things in the United States that just wouldn't be tolerated in other places in the world. And again, it's because people don't own guns here, but that doesn't matter. The point is they don't own guns, and we do own guns, and we stand behind guns, and we argue for gun ownership, and we accept 65 gun killings every single day.
But I also want to, slightly push back on that and say, well, Korea never had a gun policy like this, so we can't really estimate that it's only going to have 65.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's the idea that in the United States we tolerate so much gun violence.
Right.
Like we just we accept it. We argue for it. We argue for the Second Amendment, and it's so important. All of these things we just accept it, and like. If overnight a place like Korea suddenly has 65 gun killings, I mean, well, as they currently have, which is 10 per year, 10 or 11 per year. So imagine they had 10 per day. It would be just like the whole nation would be in an uproar. And it's not. And these are the different cultures.
I feel like, and I don't think it's like the level of tolerance either, but also just how the country was founded as well.
Yeah, completely.
Right?
Completely.
But I also want to move into the homeless issue, right? You were kind of talking about how the difference of why Korea might have such a smaller relative homeless population. Yeah. And one of the things that kicked up in my head is I have a feeling Koreans kind of endorse their family a bit more into their household if they notice they're struggling. Yeah. But I do think Americans, not they're outright renouncing their, rejecting their family outright, but especially like... I will say the family bond is a lot stronger in the working class. But if one of your family member reaches kind of like a middle class, that dynamic kind of dies down of endorsing your lesser families into the life.
I hear that.
Right.
Also, okay, I hear that for sure. I think that's definitely an operation.
Can I ask a demographic question? I don't know if you want to, but
wait, hang on.
What is the? How does the poverty rate compare just pure poverty in the United States to the nation of Korea. Do you know that? Do you have that information?
The poverty rate here, it's definitely lower than in the United States.
Because one of the things that I'm thinking about is we're always looking at the way in which people create their realities, either by their mental health issues that are their own or by circumstances that they participate in, you know? And I think the pure, just purely looking at how many people are on the margins, literally because they can't survive the pricing of things is a question. And if you just take out all that other stuff, how many people are homeless because they literally just don't have the money?
That's a good question.
Because I think that's when you can start talking about the differences in like meaningful differences in the nation.
I hear that.
Oh yeah.
You know, because
I hear that.
And I feel like the caveat of in America is that we operate under federal law, but each state operates differently, so that we can't even gouge. So what is the minimum wage that you're required to survive in this part of the area? Because you drive an hour away from this part of the area and the wage is going to be like twice as much as required. While in Korea, because it's so, at least the area around Seoul is so center focused and the country itself is so tiny. No, the entirety of South Korea, if you consider Houston and it's like neighboring cities, times that by only 20, it's the entirety of Korea.
Right?
It is not big. Korea is not big.
Here, there's much more much more of a leveling of policies, and also
it's more possible, right? When you have fewer people.
Yeah, you have 52 million people. It's a smaller landmass, and also but going back to poverty, and then I want to go in a different direction here. There's just also a lot more safety nets here, man. That's the nature of it. Hey, I want to say something. Can you recite the last 12 words of Paranoid by Black Sabbath? This guy's a Black Sabbath fan, by the way.
Why is that?
The last 12 words in the song, man.
I gotta hear.
Somebody said, Caleb, 9879 said they'll donate if you can recite the last 12 words.
Honestly, I know the start. I don't know the last part.
Yeah, I know the
I know the start of the song.
Oh my God.
I know the start of the song. I don't know if I can do the last part.
See, that's a tough call.
Yeah, honestly.
You know it?
I don't know the last.
Oh yeah, by the way, my T-shirt.
ZZ Top.
Yeah.
ZZ Top.
What is it established in 1960?
1969.
I did not realize
This is the album with Sharp Dressed Man. I love it.
Can you recite the last 12 words of?
Oh yeah.
You got the 80s.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. No, but I can't. I'm sorry. I don't think there's gonna be donation.
By the way, if someone could maybe write on the stream, like we're make sure you can hear first off, and secondly you can hear well, and secondly that we turned it. Hang on a minute, Tim. We turned it on the side, so it's horizontal, not vertical. We're just trying this out. I'm hoping that it's okay. If someone could just confirm that that's all right, it's coming through all right. Yeah, we want to do it that way instead of the vertical.
That's all right. It's audible.
It's good. All right. Okay, good. All right. So listen, man. Gee, here's a question for you. So you were the person up in the front with me for 2 years, and and I wanted you up there because you have a big personality,
which I constantly disagree with.
He has such a big personality. Jesus. And it's just he's Korean, so he can't admit that he has a big personality. He'll be judged by all the other Koreans.
Okay, I'm gonna put this out there. I am Korean whenever it's convenient for Sam. I am American whenever it's convenient for Sam.
He's Texan whenever it's convenient.
Exactly.
for
He
him.
just switches my identity up whenever he feels like it, just to prove his argument. It's not fair.
It's true though.
Okay, well, you say then. Wait.
Okay, but anyway, but also because he's a really good thinker. So when I needed and he's a contrarian thinker. So if I always need a contrarian up there. The guy right now, Dej, Dej is his name. He's from India. He's also a contrarian thinker like you. And sometimes I'm just like you. I'm like, oh, dude, you're going to ask that question right now? Like, okay, here we go. But you got to have those contrarians around because otherwise somebody like me starts to think that just, I don't know, stuff's challenging myself and challenging the direction of the class.
What do you think I'm thinking right now? What do you think I'm thinking right now as your wife?
That's why I married a contrarian thinker. Yeah.
But also, I feel like it's not Sam's fault, but also due to the class is being like very volunteer focused, sometimes what happens is the class falls into a certain narrative. Especially if the volunteers are all around like the same, amplitude.
Which is like
Yeah, and I always have to be. I want to say I'm the voice of reason, but I know I'm not. I'm just the voice of someone else.
No, you're the voice of another perspective. Dude, Dej did that the other day. We were all going in this direction, and I needed to go in the direction we were going for a while longer. And he just stands up because he stands up. You don't always stand up, and he's like, can I just say something? Because we need another opinion in here. And I'm like, no, dude, you can't. I like that. Wait, just give me another 5 minutes, man. It's too early for that.
I feel like you need Dave in this conversation.
I will say, I always try to make the class first and me second.
Yeah, you did that. No, you were never the center of anything. You always... Your ideas were the center, or not your ideas, the ideas you thought were important for the conversation. Because sometimes there were ideas that you didn't even agree with, but you just felt like, hey, in the middle of all this, we're missing another point.
Yeah, because I feel like it's a lot of people, and it's not. I'm not gonna say it's a lot of people now. A lot of just people generally think that just because you say something, you believe in it. It's not necessarily the case. It's just your ability to see the other side, and the fact that you're able to conjure up. Oh, what about these people? Right? What about? Because you're never gonna know the life that you never lived through, but you're always able to infer from various experiences that you had of. Like we were talking about the homeless folks. We may have never been in their shoes. We've never been the nuns that we were talking about, but we can kind of, through hearing and their perspective, that we are able to kind of deduce what they're doing, how they function, kind of what kind of a life they may have lived.
Yeah. No, you're right, man. And it's hard.
Which then expands whatever you think you yourself, right? Because you're like, oh, wait, now I realize that there's medical nuns who are doing something that I've never thought before, right? Now I have to account for that.
Yep. And this thing is, and both of you have been in the front of the room. Things happen quickly, man. I mean, you're accounting for so many different things that are happening in the moment that have to be accounted for. And so people might say, sometimes people on the stream, I'll see comments that's like, well, why didn't you talk about this? I'm like, man, we're just trying to hang on. It's going fast.
There's a lot of perspectives in that.
And you gotta make sure you try to bring them all out.
It's happening fast, but also some people might tune in at the wrong place at the wrong time, and it completely lose the sense of the context of why this was brought up.
Yeah, or they missed that we already talked about that issue that you think is so valuable. We talked about that 10 minutes ago, so it's like you missed it. So now you're thinking that we're being one-sided, and it's like, man, come on, you gotta go back and roll the tape through. So my question for you is, what did you learn about yourself being being in that position for 2 years?
I mean, if you want me to give out a different answer from the one that you previously asked on my last day,
Yeah. No, because no one watches that video. We can't be like, go back and watch the video of this guy on the last day.
but
Yeah.
you come to
You can give out the same answer. But
I could give out the same answer, but I've also had more time to think about that. But I've also had like more time to think about this and mature as well. But I will give out the same answer because that answer hasn't changed in the sense that I'm able to see that I'm able to be more honest with my own thoughts and myself. Because when I first came to Sam's class, I always kind of saw myself as neutral, politically speaking. That I'm able to, because I'm able to think both sides. I thought I was neutral, which is not the case at all.
Interesting.
Like my innate, the life that I've lived and what I grew up with, automatically puts me in certain side of the spectrum. It's just I am able to think both sides and see the nuance of
or
it.
multiple sides.
Yeah, multiple sides. Not just bipartisan, but like all circle, the entirety of the circle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you do that for sure. You do that as well as, I think, as well or better than any student
Can I say something in the mic?
I've worked with closely. Yeah.
You and I will get back to this in another conversation.
Okay.
But that's what you're saying is exactly why I say people who are bicultural, who are on both teams,
yeah.
I'll just say, are the people that should lead the world.
Yeah.
Because you like constitutionally are unable to just be in one place, whereas most people on the planet are just able to be in one tribe, because that's just how you're born in one culture. But when you're in two cultures or more, it is a different mindset, and it's the one that we actually need to survive.
Yeah, I got you.
And we'll talk about it more.
That's a cool idea.
When I talk about
that is
bridge
a cool
people,
perspective.
when I talk about bridge people, it's that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
And it can be that, you can attain that mindset in different ways, but absolutely, I always see people who are straddling cultures. They're there. They can do it.
Yeah. You have to put yourself in when you're talking, Laurie, you gotta.
That's all right.
But I want to elaborate on what I was saying, because I was also part of Laurie's class as well. And the real nail in the coffin to this process that I'm thinking right now was what the neutrality was when I was in your class and we were talking about the protest safety. Mm-hmm. And I realized, wow, I am super radical in the ways that should be moderated. The safety should be moderated and
You had a perspective.
I had a perspective, and actually,
You were not neutral.
And some people conceded too. Some people who were on the other side conceded to my my thoughts of process.
They did.
What was the argument?
Go ahead. You can explain.
Okay, so there was a controversial figure that was having a speech in Penn State.
Oh, yeah.
So, and this was also around election.
Right.
Was it after or post or pre? It was before. It was before election as well. So there was a lot of potential hostility that may loom around the campus.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks were kind of in a sense that, we don't really need much security. Just let people be. We shouldn't restrict the
speech.
Or
protest.
Not protest. Yeah, we shouldn't really restrict protests, or we shouldn't have to worry about it too much. Just let people be. I'm more in a sense of if we know there could be a danger, it is best for people's safety's sake that you just completely not shut it down, but have the law enforcement be involved actively and have them manage the traffics and things like that. If you know things can happen, because
Things can escalate.
because for military and for law enforcement, the sooner they're informed, the more they're prepared, the safer the environment becomes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And this is from a perspective who's had military training, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the biggest contributing factor. And the thing is, the students hated that idea. So many students are just like, no, that's like stealing our freedom. You can't really be doing that. That's like dictatorship, whatever, whatnot. So I realized, wow, I thought, that perspective would be for granted, because you don't want somebody on the rooftop who has potentially a scope, free range on the middle of Penn State, because that region is open.
And the point is that this was when, prior to this, he thought, I have a neutral perspective, and then he was like, no, I'm actually arguing for a perspective, and it was provocative, because students understood that he had military experience, and that he therefore had a certain
people
insight.
understood that I had a point as well, to an extent.
It's just a point. Yeah, that's right. And everyone has a point, and you need that point needs to come in.
And so that just goes back to
I got
what
it.
he
Okay.
got out of that. Realizing that he isn't actually a neutral person, even though he can see multiple sides.
Can you just move that so people can see who you are and that you're here? All right, hang on. Let me see.
There you are.
Okay,
could you talk for a bit, because I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
All right.
No,
All
really?
right.
Is there actually one here?
Yeah, you got to go around the stairs. All right, hang on. Gio will be back. Hey, Dr. Mulway, here. You want me to? You could just sit there and I could change the camera. You don't have to hold your hand like that. Here, hang on one second.
We're changing the camera.
Okay, here.
Maybe we can put it there.
Oh, I can do that. By the way, here's where we are.
Sam, you need the microphone.
We're inside of the coffee shop. And, so, happening? People just living life. And, that's it. That's the Trap Palace. Maybe it might be Dr. Mulway.
Yes.
What do you see about when you see me in relationship with someone like G, who's like, just got this personality that's kind of a lot like, in some ways about like my personality.
What about your personality?
Kind of like my personality in a way, right? Because we both, we're drawn to people like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you see?
Well, that's I see kind of what I said a little earlier, which was understanding what draws you to me.
Yeah. Oh, the fire.
Well, not just the fire, but just the person who's going to have contrarian ideas or just other ideas, because you are a person of ideas. Like, your life is about ideas, and so you need people to catalyze your ideas and your thinking and push you in directions that you wouldn't be in, just like for any of us. You know? But the point is, like, I saw, that's what I do for you, with you, and similarly, I also appreciate the catalyzing of my own ideas. So that's what I'm seeing.
And we've been
it's the synergy of that and the power of that, and then the creativity that comes from it.
And we've been doing that for almost 40 years. In January, it'll be probably in early February. Is when you first came to my office and told me I was annoying.
Yeah.
And started arguing with me.
Exactly.
You
were contradicting yourself.
Yeah, which was true. I'm sure I was, just like I do now.
Yeah,
that's really funny. So someone like G, though, like his personality, why are we drawn to people like him?
Well, you know why? Also, I mean, I'm just thinking if in your class, first of all, it sets up the model of the ideas being approachable. That they're ideas, and they have a history to them, and they have weight to them in some ways. Facts can be part of that, but they're also approachable from other directions, and they're to be challenged, and the ideas are meant to evolve, in relation to other people. And so you need someone who is going to be able to have enough confidence in themselves.
Yeah, that's the key.
To be able to do that with you.
Yeah, that's the key, right? Because a lot of people young people are kind of intimidated by me.
Not just by, it's the circumstance.
No, by adults.
Yes.
By adults. And by a professor, and by a professor like me, for sure, right? Even though I'm pretty low key, but I need students who won't be like that. I can't work with someone, and you and I have always said this, but I can't work with someone who is like intimidated around me. I need someone who can just treat me like I'm like their uncle or something,
Yeah, no, I don't think it's I don't think it's a side note. I think it's really core.
It's core. Yeah.
And I think you call it on. You always have. You're always the person for your whole life who has like people teasing you, making fun of you, whatever, pushing back against you.
Yeah.
And it just this could just go into a whole marriage conversation.
Yeah. Now I always
makes so much sense of the synergy between us that comes from these different ideas that we're always bringing together.
Yeah, I definitely always need people around me who can make fun of me. Like Donisha makes fun of me all the time.
But I would say it doesn't always need to be making fun of, but it's just an example of just people
having fun with me.
With you.
At my expense.
Yeah,
not in a big way, but but at my expense a little bit, and then it feels good for them. All right.
Okay.
Listen, you could just turn this around and hold. You hold it like that, and then you can see it.
I guess we're back. Yeah.
How's that?
we were talking about.
That's very casual, isn't it?
Okay, so listen. Okay, say more about what you got out of working. So you got one thing you.
So
got
that's one of the I have a new perspective of myself on where I fall on in the spectrum. I don't want to say in the whole damn circle. But also another thing is.
Wait, hang on a second. You know what? We should turn around so that we're there and these folks aren't in the background. Just because people don't necessarily want to be on a live stream like that.
Sure.
Not a thing.
You know what?
Okay, so hang on. We're gonna turn around. Okay, there we go. All right.
You're a good citizen.
Well, I don't want to get canceled in Korea. You know what I mean? Sam Richards. Look what he did.
Well, I've already been canceled, right?
Yeah. I think you're back and go crazy. Although yesterday I got an email, about a week ago I got an email wanting to explain to me about, Black people in Korea. So I understood.
Oh, no. I can go into that for another 2 hours. I guarantee you that
I
much.
got you, man. I got you. All right. All right. So listen, okay, what else did you get?
So another thing is, and this is a bit of a more vulnerable part of me, but I kind of realized I'm not an academic in a conventional sense.
Yeah.
Right. I genuinely struggle to.
You can just.
I'm a very curious person. Very curious person. I want to know a lot of things.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
I want to be in charge of the knowledge that I gain, but school and being in your class allow me to do so because I was able to kind of express my own thoughts. But I think the problem was all the other classes didn't allow me to do that. Right. So I kind of realized, no, this is not what I want. your class is what I want. Right? I was talking to Sam about this, but I kind of don't want to follow the path of being a scholar for that exact reason, because I realized that through my undergrads that going through masters is simply just not really a thing I could manage. Right.
Okay.
Because I always have to be the kind of person that needs to be in charge of what I learn.
Yeah.
That needs to, like, what am I curious about? Oh, I'm curious about this. Oh, I'm going to figure this out. So how am I going to figure it out? A lot of the times, I'm not going to lie, I can figure things out within my own head. I feel like a lot of life answers, you don't even need to go out. You can just think. I mean, maybe I'm just a big thinker. That's probably why. But all you need to do is just think. What about this? What about that? And then just all the puzzles just piece up together. And whenever there isn't a puzzle that doesn't fit together, it usually means there's a bias I have within my own head that's preventing me from going further, or I'm just not experienced enough to know.
Yeah.
Right. And those are the times I will probably reach out for external stimulus.
So what is okay, I got that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you another question. Have you always been a thinker?
I've always had a noisy mind.
Your own ideas?
Not just my own ideas, as in like there's like genuine like voices in my head, like kind of like noisy. It's always been circulating around. I've always been the kind of person who would be talking to myself on my own time frequently, and I could just stare off at like looking in a single direction for like 3 hours, just being lost in my own thoughts. For me, it was effortless. I think I was just innately born like that, and as a result, and perhaps that's one of the reasons I'm able to, think so in a broad manner, because because chances are whatever we're talking about, I probably had a similar thought in my head at least once in my life. It's very hard for me to find a stimulus that I've been completely alien from.
I got you. I would say that's true for you. I don't ever remember talking about a topic in that class where you didn't have a thought. Or a question or something.
Because for me it's very effortless to just conjure up with a question related to the topic, because it's probably something I've thought about, or it was in tandem with something I've gone through prior to the class. That it wasn't hard just piecing the puzzles together and then what about this?
Yep, I got it. That's cool, man. That's cool. I like that.
I like how you said you want to be in charge of your own learning.
I mean, it's I guess it might sound like a very narcissistic way.
No, it doesn't. Because to me it sounds like learning how you think and what you learn is very personal.
Yeah, exactly. It is a personal journey.
I don't want to just give it away to someone else to tell me what to think.
Exactly.
Pieces together myself.
Like I really did not like it when the professors are giving me things that I need to study for the exam. I was never good at it. I mean, he did it too. And here's the thing. My grade was not the best in Social 119 for that exact reason.
And what's funny is I never even knew what your grade was. It didn't matter. I was like, wait, I got to get this guy to work for me. I never asked anyone. Like,
so when I was actually like in helping out in his class, people would ask me like, so how do I study for the exam? I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't do it either. Why are you asking me?
It's so funny. I can't even begin to list the number of TAs that I've had in class, like really close TAs who have taken on big roles, who've gotten like low grades, D's, C's, and policy at Penn State is they have to get an A in the class to be a TA. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been teaching 35 years, and I can count on one hand probably the TAs I've had that got A's in my class, close TAs, not like the expansive TAs, but the ones I'm like, oh, I got to work with this person. It's so funny. And the other side, but a lot of people like that people like you who don't really like focus on grades they still can't show up when they need to show up, and you never didn't show up. You were there. You came early. You were ready.
Oh yeah.
When you were a student, always.
I don't think there was a single time I was late for the class.
No. And students who don't get A's like that, oftentimes they also just can't. They can't show up. They can't be responsible. You know, that's the thing. Hey, by the way, I'm realizing that I have to get my hair cut. I have a hair appointment with Bada. I have a stylist here in Korea, and she used to work at Juno Hair, but now she's in another one, which you say is kind of upscale.
Yeah.
Is it really upscale? Can I afford it?
I don't know. I mean, I cut my own hair. In my perspective, every barbershop is a.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
so it may not be upscale.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I have Bada. She's my stylist here. I got Cesar in Bogota, Colombia. I got Zoe in State College, and I got Bada, which means wave, I think, right? B-A-D-A? Bada? I think her Korean name means like wave or something. W-A-V.
It might be in Chinese.
In Chinese.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know all the Chinese Korean interpretation.
Anyway, yeah, I have that. What's that? Who is it?
8511.
Well, we're not in State College, but I hope all is well in State College. Yeah. All right, man. Okay, so I think we're going to sign off here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to G-Dog. G-Dog's going to get a microphone for his phone, so we can bring him in more often, and he's going to make some videos for us.
Oh, yeah.
Man on the street videos.
Man on the street videos, man. That's just what we need.
I'll try doing that.
You got it, dude. All right, hang on. Do the Korean wave thing. All right, man. There's the heart.
That's cringe. I don't want to do it.
All right. See you all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back on. We might be back on later tonight, but if not, definitely tomorrow night. Or yeah, all right. Okay.
Tell Brian we're gonna shout his out.
Who are we shouting
Just
at?
tell Brian we're gonna shout you out.
Brian. Oh, Gladstein. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. You got all right. Laurie, make that face again.
No.
All right. Okay, we'll see y'all later.